Hi, this is Vibrant Scrappy Mania, and today what I want to do is I want to convert these dies into a cutting die, because a lot of times I want to create multiple flowers, and when you have one die you got to keep cranking and cranking those through your die cutter machine in order to make the multiple flowers. So I decided that I wanted to save me a step, and I'm going to convert this into a cut file so that way I can run it through my scan and cut, and then I can use that to cut flowers, and I can make multiple flowers out of one sheet. So the first thing we need to do is we need to run it through our machine. So what I'm going to do is, and it doesn't need to be black or white or anything like that. You just get a scrap piece of cardstock, and you're going to take the die and just cut them out. So let me go ahead and cut all these dies, and I shall be back. So now I can go ahead and store these so I won't lose them. So I have this sheet from Anna Griffin, and I'll just store them here like so. And then I'll keep this sheet right there so I can refer to it because it has the recipe on the bottom. Okay. So now that I have that, oops, there's one more there. Make sure I have all the pieces, so I'm going to refer back. So I have this piece, and this is the next piece, another piece, this is the leaf, the inner piece, and that one. So I have all my pieces cut out. I'm going to bring my scan mat from my scan and cut, and I want to go ahead and have a nice high contrast, so I'm going to use it against this black paper, and then we're just going to lay this here. You want to make sure that it is it's cut the right side. Let's make sure. Okay, so now I'm going to lay my sheet down, and I'm going to go over to the scan and cut, and let's scan this in. So now when I'm ready to cut some of my flowers, I'm going to go ahead and create this flower. So to create this flower, you need the base, this shape, plus this shape, plus this shape, plus this, and then the yellow center. So let's go ahead and create that. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need another piece of color. Ready to cut my images. So the hardest part of this project is trying to find colors that will go together. One thing you can do, you can use white cardstock and then use ink to color each of the different layers of the flower. But that's the hardest part I found for myself, is trying to find colors that will match. So I'm just going to, we need 5. So the flower that I'm going to make, let me bring this over, is this one. I'm going to do the bottom flower. So I'm going to need, these two are the same color, and then this is another color, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 5 different colors with the center piece like a lighter color, yellow or something like that. So I'm going to cut these two out of this one. I'm going to cut this one out of this paper, even though it's patterned. I think it's going to look good. Then I need a dark color for that one, which I found this little scrap. So let's use this scrap. Use that. And then this is a lighter color, so I might use, so I found this nice dark scrap for the center. So what I would do is if I'm making multiple of this, now if you're only making a couple of flowers, you don't really need to cut file. But when you're making a bunch of these, what I would do is I will fill the mat with just this one for one color, fill the mat for this one for the other color. So these two, if you're making this flower, those two are the same color. Then I will get another mat and I will fill it with this one and so forth. And that way you can make a bunch of these at the same time. But I just want to do one set to see how it looks and how to put it together. So let's go over to the ScanNCut, feed this in, and then we're going to manipulate each of the pieces so it'll fit wherever I want it to fit. So I shall be back. I hope I don't shake the camera too much, but I went ahead and fed it through, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. But what I want to show you is I'm going to go into pattern. I already downloaded it, so if you download it here, it'll retrieve it. And then there is my my images that I just saved and download from the canvas. I'm going to go ahead and scan my papers or my mat so that way it knows where each of my little pieces are, my scraps. So now that I scanned it in, so hopefully you're not seeing a glare. Now that I scanned it in, I'm going to go ahead and position each of my pieces where I need to position it. That one was supposed to be my darker color or my lighter color. Actually, it's the one. This is my yellow, so I'm going to put that there. This I don't need, so if I go back here, I'm going to go and delete that one because we don't need that one. We don't need that other leaf. This is my darker color, so I'm going to put that there. This is my, actually, yes, this is my darker color, my next color, and then this is going to go up here. So I'm going to go ahead and go in closer because I want to make sure that I get every little piece of my die cut to cut where it needs to cut on my piece of paper. Let's go ahead and a little closer. I want to make sure that it's going to cut my paper. Okay, see how it's going to go ahead and cut my paper there? We're good. This one doesn't matter where you put it. So we got a big piece. This one is going to cut well. This one, no problem. And see, this is what I'm telling you. You can go ahead and delete the pieces that you don't want. And let's say I want to create a lot of like 10 or 20 flowers. I can take one piece of cardstock of a solid color and just cut like 20 of these, and then I can take, after I do that, I can cut another 20 of these and so forth, and that way you can create a lot of flowers with your just with one push of a button. So then I'm going to make sure, so once I have that there where I want it, I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. I want to add a test cut. That's the beauty about our ScanNCut, that we can go ahead and set a test cut to make sure that I have the right depth of my blade. And right now I have it 4.5. So I'm going to go ahead and do my first cut to see if it's going to be enough to cut this paper. And it looks like it cut it well. Let's see. Yep, see, it went all the way through. So now that I'm happy that it did all the way through, I'm going to go ahead and click on start. And I'm going to let it cut, and then we shall go back to the table to assemble this. So I'm back on the table. Now, one of my pet peeves with my ScanNCut, I love the ScanNCut, but one of the issues is it cuts wonderful for cardstock. Or if you try to cut regular paper, or thin paper, it doesn't do as well. I do have a review with the Maker. I did review the Maker and compare it with the Brother ScanNCut for cutting, you know, lightweight cardstock. And it's hands down, the Maker really, really works very nicely. But, you know, I like the ScanNCut just because you can scan things in and cut it. But we'll use what we got, so I guess that's good enough. And we'll salvage what we can, but it would be nice if I can use the ScanNCut to create SVG files and then convert it and use my Maker. Which you can. Actually, I now that I think about it, you can use your ScanNCut to scan images and create a JPEG image. Then you can upload that JPEG image to the Maker. And you can also use the Explorer will do the same thing. So I might have a video later on showing you how to use your Brother ScanNCut to create that JPEG image when you scan like a die cut and then just upload it to your Cricut. So I got all my pieces cut out. You got to be careful with this one because it's really delicate. And in hindsight, I may want to edit the cut file so that way it makes it a little thicker. I think that's how it is to die cut too. When I die cut it, you got to be very careful because it's very delicate. So here's all my pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and put this together. So let me go ahead and get some tweezers. So I went ahead and got everything cut out. So as you can see here, I'm going to refer back to my chart to put it together. And it tells me, according to that, you're going to start with this area facing up. Then you're going to add this piece on here. So I got some art glitter glue. Hopefully, let's go ahead and... So, you know, the possibility is endless with this. You can get a lot of your die cuts. Like I showed you how I took some of my templates from hot off of the press and converted into cut files. So you can do the same thing for your dies. So that way you don't have to be cranking them. One of the things, if I'm making cards, a lot of times I make a lot of cards for different events. And I'm making 40 to 50 cards. There's a die cut, you know, I have a die that makes a nice shape and I want to use that die. Well, it's a hassle when you have to run 40 or 60 times that die through paper. And so using your Brother ScanNCut, it's an advantage, I think. So then this goes on here. Okay, I think it goes like that. Then this is the one that it's very delicate, and maybe I need to fix it so that way it cuts a little nicer. Like I can thicken those areas, and there's a way you can do it. You can thicken certain areas using a software, an imaging software, which I do not have. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and place it on here. Matching it with this outline here. like so, and then this goes like this. This goes, let's see how it goes. I think it goes like this. May have to lift some of this up. You know, I think the image is wrong on here. I think it goes like that. They have this, and then this, I think I will reverse it. I will put that one first, and then I will put this one on top. I think they made a mistake. It needs to be reversed. But now, I'm getting ink all over. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And there's my flower. So, I mean, if you got better paper that coordinates a little better, or better yet, cut it out in white cardstock and then color it, or color the cardstock before you cut it. I think that's the best solution for this flower. But see, you can create the same thing using your die cutting machine, and that way you can make a lot of these at one time. So I hope I gave you an idea, and I hope this was helpful. Sorry that I wasn't able to really give you detail on the scanning, how to scan it and upload it into Canvas Scan and Cut. But I will put links of people that does a better job than I do in showing you how to use the Scan and Cut and how to upload your images to Canvas, and then how to even edit it. And I'll put a lot of links from Julie's Faith Embosser. She's very, very good on teaching you how to use the Scan and Cut. So I'll put all her videos so that way you can view her, because she's the one I use to learn how to use the software. But other than that, I hope I gave you an idea, and thank you for watching. Bye now.